Hello, and welcome to You Are Your Own Hero. I am Dr. Tassel Faith Shamebrook, and today we are talking about inner partnership and how this is how we really access our power, our peace, and our alignment. And I really can't underemphasize how powerful and truly transformative this practice of inner partnership is. So I have been saying this mantra so much recently, and I say it with my hands over my heart. And it's really simple. It's, I am here for you. I am here for you. I am here for you. So I'm saying it to myself. And I think this practice, probably more than any other practice I personally have ever done, has helped me feel so empowered, so comforted, and so aligned. And this is the idea that I, and only I am my best friend. I am my own hero. I am my own mother. I am whatever I need at all points in time, and that I am always there for myself, that I always give myself grace, that I always give myself unconditional acceptance, and that I always give myself unconditional love. So I want to just first explain how I came into this practice. So it was really some certain situations with my life partner that really led me to this practice. So before I met my life partner, I had been on my own after my divorce for about 4 years. And during that time period, I went through the dark night of the soul, and I did a lot of inner work. And I really, for the first time in my life, was coming in to my self-love, my self-sovereignty, self-acceptance, all that great stuff. But in the back of my mind, I still had this illusion, this story that when my life partner showed up, that's when I would really feel this complete support and safety and acceptance, that someone really had my back. So that was kind of always in the back of my mind. So even though I was giving myself a lot of support and love and sovereignty, I still had this story that some of it was still going to be coming in at some point from the external, that I was not fully going to be sourcing that for myself. So fast forward to the present day, and I'm now in a really healthy, wonderful, loving relationship with my life partner. And yet, at times, because we're all human, there are some times of conflict, there are some times of distance, there are some times when the support doesn't feel quite as strong. And this has actually been the greatest blessing to experience that, because what it basically forced me to do, and I don't know about you, but often I don't really grow and expand unless I'm somewhat forced to. That has been somewhat my spiritual path. So it was during these times of some disconnection with my partner that I felt really low, and I felt alone, and I felt unsupported. So where else could I go? I could go within, and of course to my connection with the divine. And so it has really been through finally having a life partner and understanding there's so much amazing support and love and friendship there, but at the same time that I, and only I, am the true source of partnership. That partnership really begins and ends with me. So these experiences with my life partner have deepened my own inner partnership. And this has been probably the greatest gift for me in the relationship with my life partner, has been this awareness, this clarity, this practice, and this profound deepening of my inner partnership, this relationship that I have with myself. So on a practical level, besides saying things like I'm here for myself, which we said in the beginning, on a practical level, what are tangible things that we can do to deepen and strengthen this inner partnership with ourselves? And the first thing I would say is to spend some time alone. Spending some time alone. And this is something that I'm a Libra. It does not come super naturally to me to spend time alone. I have found probably some of the greatest gifts of my life in spending time alone, but it's still something that I somewhat have to be more guided to do. But spending some time alone and getting to know yourself, it sounds like a cliche, but what are the things that really make your heart shine? What are the things that really light you up? What do you really enjoy doing? And it took me, up until a few years ago to really understand those things about myself, because I had spent so much time in relationship, I didn't even really know myself. So I would say one of the first very practical, tangible things you can do in developing your inner partnership is just getting to know yourself. It's like you're dating yourself and you're curious about what you like and how you can provide things for yourself and what you can do for yourself to really nurture yourself and really have a great time with yourself and with this inner companionship that we're talking about. And then another aspect, the second aspect that I think is so wonderful and so lovely is to be in your truth. So a true inner partnership means that you are always turning towards yourself. You're not turning away. So sometimes even with external relationships, if there's something that's uncomfortable, at times we can turn away from each other because it can feel so uncomfortable. And this is something we do with ourselves too, don't we? If we're feeling something, some truth is coming up that is not super comfortable, it can be easy to turn away from ourselves like we do with other people. Distract ourselves. There's so many things that we can distract and numb ourselves with in our society. So the second practice of inner partnership is about turning towards yourself, leaning in to yourself, being in your truth, honoring your truth. And the third step here, and golly, this is still one of the most uncomfortable aspects of the inner partnership for me, is honoring your feelings, honoring all of your feelings. This radical, profound, unconditional honoring and acceptance of one's own feelings. And there are many feelings in our society that are very stigmatized. We may at times have very, very heavy feelings about being on this planet at all. We may have feelings of shame. We may have feelings of guilt. We may have feelings of hatred at times. Of course, we're not advocating to act in any destructive ways with these feelings, but we are advocating to allow ourselves to feel whatever is there. This is such a sacred part of this partnership with ourselves, to honor all of our feelings. And we always talk about this, that every time we move through uncomfortable feelings, there are so many gifts on the other side. In fact, I can really look towards almost everything really phenomenal in my life has come about through me moving through something really uncomfortable feelings-wise. Okay, so getting to know yourself, dating yourself, being in your truth, feeling your feelings, and then the fourth practice is this blanket of self-trust. So tuning into one's own guidance, tuning into one's own intuition, nudges, and just following that without letting the thinking mind get too involved with its own fears and perhaps agendas. I just love this idea that I am trusting myself. Most of us throughout our lives have really been conditioned, again, to trust others over ourselves. This started out when we were children. We were taught to trust our parents or our school teachers or religious authorities, and often at the cost of trusting ourselves and listening to our own guidance. So the idea here is that we are not turning away from ourselves in any way. We are not turning away from who we are and what we like and what is important to us. We are not turning away from our own truth. We are not turning away from our own feelings. We are not turning away from our own guidance. We are instead turning in. We are leaning in to ourselves in every aspect. And these are really the foundational bricks of developing this inner partnership with oneself. And I just love that idea that I will not turn my back on myself for anyone or anything. I am first and foremost committed, loyal, and in integrity to myself. And again, the amount of power, peace, and alignment that comes from this practice that you will see on the external as you carry this energy internally is transformational. And one super interesting aspect of what I'm talking about that happens on the external, which still really blows my mind, is that as your inner partnership really grounds in and really integrates, and you're really embodying this day to day, what you will see is that on the outer, this will be reflected. As within, so without. So for instance, with my life partner, as my inner partnership has strengthened and purified and developed, the external partnership with him has done the same thing. It has strengthened and purified and further developed. Seriously, like magic. I didn't change my external behavior with my partner, but because I have been carrying this consciousness, this energy of integrous inner partnership with myself, I am now seeing that in my external partnership with him. And the timing is also just really fascinating and interesting, because it's really honestly just been over the past month or so that I've really ground down into my inner partnership. And then basically last week, my partner initiated a conversation with me about ways that he wanted to be closer and stronger in our external partnership. He initiated it. I didn't do anything. So this is the magic that happens whenever we shift, transform, expand internally. We always see it reflected on the external. we are really just projecting our internal energy into the external, and we see it reflected there really accurately. So, and again, I just want to say, I find this fascinating because the old me, my thinking mind might have thought, oh, in order to strengthen my external partnerships, I need to do something. We need to communicate more, or I need to try harder, or we need to do more things together, or something like along those lines. And really, in a way, it really was the opposite. It really was taking a step back, going within myself, taking time, taking my energy, taking my focus, and really developing this inner partnership that actually facilitated this external partnership strengthening as well. So it's just amazing. And these are the fruits of the inner work that we're all doing during this time period of ascension. So again, just to summarize, inner partnership really brings us into our power, into our peace, into our alignment. And the most tangible practices of inner partnership are getting to know oneself, spending time alone, being in our truth, honoring our feelings, trusting the self, trusting one's own guidance. And it's just such a powerful practice. So if you like this video, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. And please subscribe to the channel if you feel inclined. And we also have information about our Patreon community in the description. So much love to you.